Hello everyone, this is Nightwatch N8, your host of the Nightwatch Podcast.
It's the one and only D-O-double-G.
Snoop Dogg.
You know what happened with the D-R-E.
Yeah. Y'all know what this is, so can y'all make some noise for my man Snoop Dogg? Come on, louder, y'all, louder.
Top dog, bottom all, yeah, I'm burning it up. DPGC, go ahead and turn it on up. DPT, LBC, yeah, we hooking back up. And when they bang this in the club, they beat you got to get up. Thug homies, drug homies, yeah, they giving it up. Low life, your life, boy, we giving it up. Taking chances while we dancing in the party for show. Slip my girl a 44 and she crept in the back there with these chickens looking at me strange, but you know I don't care. Step up in this mother, just a swing in my hair. Trick, quit talking, quick walk if you down with the shit. Take a bullet with some and take this dope on this jet. Out of town, put it down for the father of rap. And if you happen to get cracked, shut your trap. Come back, get back, that's the part of success. If you believe in the ass, you'll be relieving your stress.
It's the one and only N8.
Dr. Dre, you little buster.
You know I'm riding with the D-O-double-G.
West Coast, make some noise!
I'm talking about West Coast.
Come on, put your hands in the air. Everybody put your hands in the air. Come on, everybody put your hands in the air. Put your hands way up in the air.
Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West.
I am totally white boy geeked out right now, but sipping on some 40s, right? Anyway, so there is a point to all this nonsense. Very relevant points. Still, it's pretty common knowledge that the Super Bowl is like the biggest show on earth, right? And it commands the world stage. So, and many others, including myself, have noticed in the past Super Bowl halftime shows that there's been a good deal of messaging, occultic, whatever, Illuminati, New World Order, Katy Perry riding out on a beast like a harlot, Madonna dressed up like some kind of Isis goddess with her Baphomet horns, being carried out like Egyptian style, back in the day the popes used to, where they were so humble. There's been several. I think the most recent was the Weeknd. I never heard of the guy until the Super Bowl, but I guess he's some kind of big timer. And his was pretty bizarre, and especially in line with this push for a great resets and a fourth industrial revolution. The merger of man and digits, right? Basically, man and machine. If you remember that, there were robot people, robot choirs, and the weird faceless people looked like they had facial reconstruction surgery or something. But this was right during the COVID nonsense with the face coverings and all that. So there's a bit of dehumanization, and there was a bit of kind of this AI merger with machine messaging. The revelation of the method, it's been called or coined, where this cabal, this uber elite secret society, Satan worshipping circle that control world affairs, rule from behind the curtain over governments of the earth, and ultimately they serve the adversary of all of our souls, right? Satan, Lucifer, the light bearer, the one who, way back in the garden, promised them eternal life. Ye shall be as gods, and they truly think that they are. That's how delusional these control freaks, psychopaths with way too much wealth, power, and influence. It's how much delusion they truly have going on up there. Viewership. Super Bowl. I know it was a little bit less than what they were hoping for, Boo-hoo, but it was still quite a large audience. Let's just check CNBC. I know this is trivial for the moment, but I just wanted to get I'm building some groundwork, foundation for this show. Believe it or not, that's what I'm doing. Big Game attracted an average of more than 112 million viewers across TV and streaming. Yeah, there's Vaughn Miller, sellout, ex-Bronco. So it's up 15.9 million from 2021, which had a dismal showing, they say. The worst audience score since 2007. Makes you wonder if it was anything to do with that kneeling during the anthem thing, perhaps, you think? It was projected to draw in 117 million, but it only drew in a paltry 112 million. Womp, 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 womp. So yeah, in any case, it's a crap ton of people that watch the Super Bowl, and that's just the live viewing audience. One of the reasons why I felt that this show should be made, that I thought this topic was fascinating, to me anyway, and hopefully to you too, is that, like I said, this is like a yearly ritual within the conspirasphere. Is that a good way to put it? The different little conspiracy corners around the internet, cyberspace. It's kind of a fun little get-together. We all sit around the campfire and we don't tell ghost stories, but we talk about the Super Bowl halftime show. And I've done this with my friends in the past because it's kind of interesting. It's like, here is the largest show on earth now, and here are the largest, most powerful merchants, transnational corporations on the planet, and they're all pitching something, right, to the world. They're going to convey a message, and there's so much money within this big show that, nothing's by chance, right? When it comes to the choreography, when it comes to the stage design, even, some of the commercials, and I'll get into that, some of the hidden messaging within the commercials. Everything is on purpose. There's an agenda behind everything you see. Just about every second that you're watching. But so one of the things that really inspired me to do the show was that I listened afterwards for the next several days after the Super Bowl, and I listened to several of my favorite talk show hosts. Clyde Lewis was one, podcasters, YouTubers, and everybody, it seemed, had this kind of a common theme. But they were all almost kind of disappointed, like they didn't see too much. Like there wasn't enough blatantly obvious, like in your face, like there has been in the past. Just like Illuminati triangles in your face and Baphomet crowns like on Madonna, and pure Satanism, just occult symbol, runic symbols. And so it was kind of a big nothing burger, kind of this year was the overall consensus within, different circles of, people that I listen to. And I thought that was really strange to me because to my eyes, when I saw it, when I watched it, and I'm about to play it here for y'all too, and I'll walk you through it because something just blew my mind. And I'm not kidding. As soon as I set up my little space here, and I put on my headphones. These are new headphones. And they're just, audio input, regular jack headphones. As soon as I put these on, and I push play, okay? And I'm going to do this for you right now. So let's just sit back and watch the show, shall we? This is the Pepsi Super Bowl 56 halftime show. Let's go.
The National Football League welcomes you to the Pepsi Super Bowl 56 halftime show.
Now listen up. Hear that voice? The streets of Compton. I just spoke over it, but listen up. When I first saw this, my first impression is like, okay, we zoom in from the galaxy somewhere in outer space, and here's little Earth, pale blue dot, right? As Carl Sagan called it. And we zoom into the continent, North American continent. I'm going to try to not skip around too bad here, but... okay. California. All lit up at night. And it zooms in on Compton, right? Because that's where Dr. Dre, D.R.E., Snoop Dogg, D.O.G., all these West Coast... Gangsta Rappers originated from, right? According to the lore, the myth, whatever. So you see this little outline even, right? Which is not obviously natural. So then it zooms in, and it even says Compton, so it's clear to keep it easy, simple for you goyim out there. Don't want to get confused. But it's the Earth seen from space at night. So it's basically the power grid, right? It's the street lights. It's, if an alien came here from outer space, there's your sign. Stupid alien, right? The capability of traveling light speed. Savages. So that would be their sign that there's intelligent life on this planet, right? But then, so the obvious thing that really hit me right off the bat, without doing any of this prior research, which I've done since. It's been a month now that I've been kind of germinating over this whole idea of the show. And this should be obvious to even the most casual Christian who's ever picked up their Bible, who knows anything about Bible prophecy, right? To me, it's pretty obvious. There's Compton. There's some black kids on the street shooting off firecrackers. There's one little boy right there on his bike. So, there's their old stomping grounds, right? Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and crew. It zooms back out, and you can see how it's kind of like a, like an old, what is it, CRT, I think they're called, a TV screen, where you can see the RGB, red, green, and blue. And the lines like you're looking through a video screen. There's a car. There's the fireworks. It's zooming back out. It just zoomed in, zooming back out. But now, it's blinking. Yeah, it's almost like it's got a little glitch factor going on here. And again, to the casual Christian observer, there it is again. We see it. The street layout. The power grid, right? Turns into... Oh, okay. Dr. Dre. It's like the lines within his hand. And my first question when I saw this, and I caught this right off the bat, which hand is it? His right hand, right? And so, you know, the popular trending, I guess, understanding of the biblical mark of the beast today would be, you know, it's going to be an implantable microchip, RFID, under your skin, in your right hand.
The chip, it's in the Bible. It's the mark of the beast.
They never talk about the forehead bit, because that'd be kind of weird, right? Like, who would sign up for that? Yeah, sure, stick a microchip in my forehead. And I don't know if I'll be able to dive too deep into the what I understand from the Bible. You got to it's the trick that a lot of people don't understand. Again, the casual Bible student of prophecy, is that you have to let the scriptures define themselves, and you can't just take something out of the modern context and slip it in there and make it say what you want it to say, right? That's not being honest with the Word of God, as I understand. You know, pretty classical. There's exegesis and eisegesis. You don't want to input your own ideas into the scripture. You want to come to the scripture with an open mind, with an open heart, prayerfully asking for the Holy Spirit to tell you what truth is, not the other way around. Anyway, but what does this make you think of, right? At first I did think, you know, it's like a microchip. And probably have on the background, or I'll pull it up, you know, kind of what a circuit board looks like. And there's these little highways, and there's these little conductors, capacitors, whatever. I'm not that techie, but I just know how to use this stuff, you know what I'm saying? So at first, that was my first impression. But then as things went on, and tell me, what does that make you think? You know, I don't want to just, again, I don't want to just shove this down your throat. I want you to make up your own mind, basically. You know, I'm a student as well. I have a lot yet to learn. So, here's Dr. Dre. Here's his right hand. Here's what this looks almost like a computer chip, but if we watch the previous segment, it was actually the power grid of Compton, California, right? The street layout, the electricity that illuminates the city streets. But the power grid, right? I think that's key. And as it zooms out, you know, and he reaches, and then his hand kind of turns reddish. Kind of interesting. Gets redder and redder. And he's reaching down, and it's so, like, in your face. I mean, this is the start of the show. And this is where I just heard a little voice in my head. Pretty sure it's related to this new headset. But it fits perfectly what they're saying in the background. but I wanted to show you first. He reaches down, and then again it kind of glitches out. It gets like it's almost from my video photo editing knowledge. It's almost kind of like a canvas type texture, but it's just kind of grainy, gritty, right? Nitty gritty. Flashes. Now what's he doing? And I think somebody like on Clyde's show made a big deal about, he's got a little spider tattoo. It's like, is that the best you can come up with? And it's probably just his tattoo. So if they're showing Dre's right hand, it's going to have on whatever it's already got on, right? So I don't see that really as a big deal. But what I do think is kind of part of the messaging here is, here's Dre, which many admitted, they like hyped this guy up like the god of hip hop, the god of gangsta rap, right? They put so much hype in this show. And so they almost elevated Dr. Dre as a deity, okay? God man. But here he is, and he has this, it's plain as day, a mark in his right hand, okay? And it's related to the power grid, possibly, because this is where that pattern just originated from. The streets of Compton. And with that right hand, which is marked, he reaches down, this God figure, all powerful, whatever, most worshipful deity of hip hop, gangster rap. And he uses that right hand to control the audio controls. And everything lightens up, gets brighter. And somebody made a big deal about this wall here that drops down. And I don't know. I mean, it almost does look like a QR code. The little white and black squares. Excuse me. First I thought that was like a little alien. I was like, they exist, man. They're telling us something. All these recent government declassified UFO stuff is real. No, but it's actually, I think, like a camera. Anyway. But I think these are like his Golden Records awards, right? What's his... I don't even know his record label. I forgot. My bad. Anyway, there could be something to the digital binary nature of this pattern, but again, I don't see that as like a huge in-your-face revelation. This drops down, revealing the man himself. Turns on his mic. There he is. And I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna ask the audience to try to overlook. I know it's really hard to overlook all the pomp, display, and the gold chains, and the cool shades, the freaking jumpsuit Snoop's wearing. I mean, if I had one of those, I'd have it on right now, okay? Let's put it that way. I'd be wearing that thing almost every day. But look past all the gangster rap, the culture, the little token remnants of black culture that these massive multinational corporations owned by white-haired old white men are trying to brand or sell you right now, okay? If that makes sense. I hope that all made sense. Overlook all the shiny, dazzly objects, and even that beat that you just can't, once you get in your head, man, it's all over. I mean, I want to put a hoodie back on. I want to start flinging around gang signs, but I contain myself just for the show. I'm trying to maintain a level of respectability, okay? This is infotainment, not just entertainment. That's key. But what I want to ask you now, after getting all that past you, clearing your mind of all this frickin' amazing, I keep hitting this stupid thing, this epic display of coolness, okay? It doesn't get any cooler. That's all I'm saying. Look past all that. What do you see here? We're just coming off of 2+ years of a pandemic, where we were told, what was it, 2 weeks to flatten the curve? I think it was. Yeah, that turned out. But people were basically put on house arrest, right? In some countries, Australia for one, China of course, but even in Australia, massive quarantine centers were manufactured. And all over Twitter, people were commenting about, look at so-and-so celebrity trying to make it look glamorous. They're hanging out in this vacation resort, not by choice, but by mandate. Yeah, sitting out in bikini, getting some sun, getting food delivered to you. It doesn't sound so bad, right? Anyway, so we're just coming out of all this, supposedly, even though China's freaking out again. What does that make you think of? And I'm going to skip around a bit because that's just how my mind's operating lately. But, here's a sterile environment. Nobody's got a house like this. And I know that there's some artistry or whatnot in this stage design. But what does that make you think of after, 2+ years coming out of a pandemic? It's a sterile, hospital-like environment. Everything's white, pristine, right? What is this place? I know it has names like popular haunts in the crib, right? Like the Eve After Dark is one of them, and another one I think is like a donut shop, burger shop, whatever, named after real places. Tam's Burgers, Eve After Dark, kind of symbolic, but it's an actual place, and it doesn't look anything like that. It's a ghetto little club in the ghetto, so that's appropriate, right? But everything's white, sterile environment, right? And to me, it just looks like, I don't know, it looks like a quarantine center. May or may not be. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying everything's white and pristine, sanitary. But look at this. We have people out on the streets, right? Streets of Compton. And they're dancing, having a good time. But the commonality is, and you'll see this throughout the show, which I'm not going to torture you to death by showing every minute of it. You'll see throughout the show that all these people in areas, okay, and yes, attractive women, and yes, apparently it's okay if you're a gangsta rapper to womanize, have a harem, worship you. I guess that's okay. White guy, not so much, but if you're a gangsta rapper, I guess you can have a harem. I guess that's the deal. It's part of culture, right? You don't want to judge culture. It's super uplifting for the women in society, bouncing their booties around and being sexual objects. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get on this little moral high horse. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to expose the works of darkness. That's what I'm here for. So anyway, everybody you'll see throughout this is within this power grid. All the people on the outside within the power grid. People on the inside, whatever you want to think that is. The quarantine center, is this a microchip motherboard with little capacitors and semiconductors, those little white things? Because you'll see later on here, and I'm skipping all over the place, but there's the goddess lady, hole for thick dancers and whatnot. So there's a little circle. You'll see it right here. This is the power grid, the streets of Compton, right? Lit up power grid. And you'll see all these people having fun, having a good time, dancing, and what's his name coming up? Shoot, I forgot his name. Not really that concerned, but yeah, they're all within the power grid. See? This little circle. There's nobody out there right now. But you'll see shortly when this... I don't want to be cruel. Thick lady begins... ends her song. Falls over. Quite a attractive position. But and then it cuts to these really weird... This is probably the weirdest part of the whole show. And let me look up his name, because I don't even know his name. And Kendrick Lamar, okay? And again, here was the lineup from February 13th. Still halftime performers, and as you'll see, 50 Cent's not up there. So 50 Cent was the surprise guest. And just so happens to be first artist to accept Bitcoin as payment. Wow. Guy was ahead of his time, wasn't he? So he received more than 700 Bitcoins under the deal, but then forgot about his cryptocurrency, according to TMZ. The hoard is worth 7 to 8 million, although the currency's price volatility means that it could change fast. And this was back 2018 when it might have run up to close to 20,000. So it's even higher now, if he's still holding on to it and hasn't bought himself a few shiny new rims or something like Chris Rock would say. Yeah. From 2014, when it was the equivalent of $662. And this was only, when they're writing this article, 11,200. That was even a deal back then. So again, it starts out with the hand, right? The right hand of Dre. And this is the, what I never got to, because I'm a space cadet, apparently. Once I put these headphones on tonight, and I played this for the first time, so hopefully you'll hear the same thing I hear. Listen up. Hear that? Play one more time. Maybe two more times. You hear that kind of droning voice in the background? He earlier on, he says straight out of Compton. Straight off the streets of Compton. What did he say? And it's flashing on Dre's right hand, illuminated with the power grid. What did he say? What? Say what? That's a Snoop thing. To me, it sounds like "Welcome to the New World Order," but you kind of lose the last word. It's kind of just a echo of world. Kind of ends up like that. So even if it's "Welcome to the New World," and they didn't want to be so obvious as to say the New World Order, you don't want to talk about that. We don't talk about the New World Order, right? No. I'd say it's about time for a anti-New World Order party myself, because right or left wing of the bird of fascism doesn't seem to matter anymore, does it? It's all about promulgating the empire, being the pit bull of the New World Order. That's apparently the role of America.
We are at an inflection point, I believe, in the world economy. Not just the world economy, in the world. It occurs every 3 or 4 generations. As one of the top military people said to me in a secure meeting the other day, 60 million people died between 1900 and 1946. And since then, we established a liberal world order, and that hadn't happened in a long while. A lot of people died, but nowhere near the chaos. And now is a time when things are shifting. There's gonna be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it. We've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it. So anyway.
Right here. You hear the opera singer? Okay. Dramatizing for you. But I want to watch my finger. Yes, that's my stomach rumbling because I'm hungry. But watch my finger and I'll signal like a conductor. I'll signal when it begins. Welcome to the New World Order. Dr. Dre's right hand with a mark. Is that obvious? That obvious. Mic drop. Mic drop. That's all I got. Going home. I'm out. See you guys. Right, so here's the original wavelength. Nice little pretty patterns and pretty colors, right? And so this is a dialogue isolate option within this program, Isotope. And it's a pretty neat program. This is kind of an algorithm that isolates the human voice. And let's play around with the sound here a little bit. So there's all these little dialogue separation, sensitivity, ambience preservation, noise gain. I noticed with this one, I can make it not so sharp, not so abrupt. So let's try a preview of what this sounds like. It'll still keep some of that background noise. Let's see what the preview sounds like.
Straight off the streets of Compton.
So that was pretty clear, right? Now I'm going to eliminate as much as this program will let me of that background noise, and then I'm just going to crank up the dialogue separation sensitivity all the way to 10. We'll see what this sounds like. See if you can catch it this time if you haven't already.
Straight off the streets of Compton.
Pretty crazy, right? To me, it's as plain as day.
Y'all know what this is, so can y'all make some noise for my man Snoop Dogg? Come on, louder, y'all, louder.
Top dog, bottom all, yeah, I'm burning it up.
Oh, shoot.
DPG,
Oh, shoot.
CPT, LBC, yeah, we hooking back up.
Not
And when they
again.
make this in the club, baby, you got to get up.
This is-
Thug homies, drug homies, yeah, they giving it up. Low life, your life, boy, we giving
stop.
it up.
It's going to be all night if I don't. If that's not obvious. And it kind of fits because the later on when Eminem steps up, he actually sings his song about the New World Order. I was kind of disappointed because he never got to that, to those lyrics in the song. Bummer, right? When he says, souls escaping from this hole that is gaping, marching toward a New World Order. Okay, that's my bad white guy rap impression. But, and again, they are trying to sell. I'm looking at Snoop here with that giant glob of gold strapped around his neck. They are trying to sell the New World Order, right, to the younger generations, especially the most susceptible as the coolest thing on the planet, right? The Metaverse. That reminds me. Snoop Dogg. This guy, man. This guy. I'm gonna show you.
NFT, never forget to pass it. Quickest way to get your motherfucking ass kicked. Smoking big while I'm bouncing in the classic. No cap, I don't even gotta gas it. When the weed come around, real shit too, puffs nigga pass it. I only want that loud talk. Oh, you got it, roll it up and let me sample it. Keep an eye on my weed, cause if I don't, it'll disappear like magic. Smoke the whole sack, only got a roach back. I'ma let you niggas have it. Yeah. 2021, Snoop D.O. Dub. NFT. Never forget to pass it. Quickest way to get your ass kicked. Oh yeah, this is another classic. Now right on, right on.
And again, these are Snoop Dogg's NFT avatars, okay? So yes, you too can, finally become everything you've ever wanted to be. The pinnacle of coolness. You can finally become your idol, Snoop Dogg, at least in the Metaverse. For the right price, though, of course, right? So, and again, this is, just like in-game items, and there's, they could probably make infinite amount of these little game characters, but we're supposed to believe that, let's click on this one, right? The style and jumpsuit guy. We're meant to believe, and he does his little cute dance, right? We're meant to believe that these are like super rare, right? Limited edition. So there's only this one, says this is like 24 of 25. So they're almost all bought up, right? They're going fast. Limited time offer for $3,122.31 each. And, I was just curious. So I thought I'd do the math just on this one avatar. Okay. Right. Like who wouldn't pay that for one of 25 of these little Snoop characters? So I was just curious. So I thought, let's do the math. 25 times 3,122. Let's not lose any change. Oops, I messed that up. There we go. And let's just see. Nice, right? So off this one in-game NFT avatar, Snoop's making 78. Well, maybe the designers make a little tiny cut of that, but let's just say Snoop's making a good, 50,000, 60,000 each. Right? That's just one. So, there's multiples. They're probably, currently 20, maybe. But they can just keep printing these things out, right? It's better than paper fiat money. You don't even have to print anything. It's just digits in a computer. And then, here's everybody having a good time. Little blockheads, right? Get a VIP concert. Look at that. You can even rate. You probably rat people out someday too, like this guy was spreading misinformation. Get him out of here, and I'm sure Snoop will have his little bodyguards, bouncers at the door. I don't know, it's just not at all appealing to me. It's like Minecraft, But yes, you can pimp out your lowrider, right? You can get like custom trunks put on, right? All for the right price, of course. And I wonder how much that costs, right? To kit out your own exclusive Snoop Dogg's exclusive NFTs. Classics, right? Look at all those. Yeah, you see, you can own one of these. Like plush seats. Look at those shiny rims, right? You gotta have the rims. You can own one of these in the Metaverse, guys. Well, Snoop turns around and actually buys a real one in the real world. Yeah, that sounds like a super exclusive deal right there. And according to this article, at least, the pool of suckers is pretty large. Snoop Dogg sells over $44 million worth of Stashbox NFTs in just 5 days. It's February 15th, 2022. And this was for his, the first quote-unquote decentralized record company. Snoop's NFTs are limited to 25,000, and each box includes 1 to 17 songs from BACC on Death Row. Each box costs $5,000. Now, where are all these kids that can afford that kind of money? I don't know. Maybe they're adults. Overgrown kids. As first reported by Dan Runchies Trapital, Snoop Dogg allegedly sold 8,000 Stashbox NFTs as of Monday, February 14th. At the time of this writing, there are 16,137 NFTs remaining, and if that means that the other 8,863 have been sold at the asking price, then the NFT sale has generated at least $44.3 million since it went live on Friday. If all the 25,000 sell out by the time the sale ends on this Thursday, February 18th at midnight, Snoop Dogg's Stashbox NFTs will have generated total revenues of $125 million. And so who knows? I mean, I know a lot of it's hype. Who knows if those were even all sold or if it's just this, illusion of scarcity model. But in any case, they're making a killing, right? There's obviously enough suckers out there that are jumping right on board with this whole Ponzi scheme business model. And so, yeah, you can see the power of this technology and why it's so appealing and attractive and addictive. In a sense, it's like gambling. You can see why all these financial sleazeballs, to put it blunt, investment types, Wall Street, scumbags, scum of the earth, really are excited about this technology. That gets me to my next point. Snoop Dogg, right? Dog, Bitcoin, that's all you gotta do. That's simpy. I guess it's with 2 G's, I can't spell, but I'm excited about it, you dig? Talking about crypto. Snoop Dogg from 2021. Snoop Dogg from Fortune. Okay, I didn't even know these articles were out here already, but Fortune magazine. Snoop Dogg reveals himself as NFT kingpin, Cosimo di Medici. I mean, these people aren't delusional at all, right? Comparing himself to a Medici. Okay. Right. The Medicis. First international banking family out of Italy, I believe. Add crypto to millionaire Snoop Dogg's growing multi-hyphenate career. The DOGG revealed this week on Twitter that he has been collecting NFTs under the alias Cosimo di Medici. Wow, dude, you're freaking epic, bro. Anyway, this has been going on for some time with the Snoop, DOGG. Journey with the Dough. I was looking for earlier. I found like a really an older article from years and years past. And okay, so I keep saying he's big into NFTs. Whatever. Anyway, at one point he endorsed, of all coins, Doge or Doggy coin. Basically, it's a joke, but since it's got adherents like the quote-unquote richest man on earth, Elon Musk, pumping up Doge, so it was a good fit, right, with Snoop Dogg, the Doggy coin. He was behind that for a while, but for some time he has been pretty heavily invested in Bitcoin. So here's like other than Dr. Dre, the headliner of the Super Bowl halftime show Snoop Diggity Dog. And he just happens to be, this is from 2013. Snoop embraces Bitcoin for his next record. Okay, so you had 50 Cent, which according to that article they claimed was the first artist, that may or may not be true, but maybe the first big time artist to accept Bitcoin as a payment for his shows. And now you have Snoop D-O-double-G. There's the current price. Yes, it's going back up. Yes, of course. Snoop Dogg embraces Bitcoin for his next record. This was back in 2013. Not a bad investment, if you look at where it's gone since then. Last week, the rapper tweeted that his next release will be available in Bitcoin and delivered in a drone. Oh man, these people. Look at it. I mean, yeah, you can't compete, man, with that level of coolness. So you have 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg. Now, these are just the halftime. I haven't even looked into like Eminem. I wouldn't doubt it. May or may not be invested. May or may not be public with his investment. Yeah, I don't know. Freestyles rap about Bitcoin. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Eminem's freestyle rapping about Bitcoin. Wow. Real original, guys. You guys are just catching on to this wave? What's up with y'all? Been going on for some time now. I heard about it back in 2012. Embracing Bitcoin. Wow. So again, what are the odds, right? Eminem recently turned heads when Bitcoin was referenced on hip-hop song Not Alike, his recently released song featuring Royce da 5'9", whatever that is, on Spotify. Part of the Kamikaze, his 2018 surprise album released the 31st of August. The song has quickly become a hit on several streaming platforms, including Apple Music. On the Bitcoin line from the song, Royce da 5'9" states, "Remember everybody used to bite nickel, now everybody doing Bitcoin. Yeah." Whatever that means. This is direct comparison, shows the world has moved from the traditional way of handling finances, encapsulates all that cryptocurrency currently achieving, blah, blah, blah. 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 I read so much of this garbage that it just makes me nauseous anymore. I get sick to my stomach. Because it's like, if there's anything out there that you can classify as fake news, it's pretty much every article that you read about Bitcoin. And the rest. Anyway, so that's from a while back, right? 2019. Right, still pretty early adoption. So you have 3 now. I just learned this myself. 3 artists, known artists. Could be more. So it's just, this incestuous, narcissistic hall of mirrors where people who already have too much money can amplify their money. That works out great for them, right? I don't know about all the rest of us, but so yeah. What about this Metaverse thing? Let's go back to the Metaverse again. This is from the WE Forum, okay? The World Economic Forum. Why you can't have the Metaverse without a blockchain. There's some little depiction of what they think blockchains kind of look like. They look like little brains to me, but again, it's all these little blocky, and reminds me of something out of Minecraft, and the graphics on Minecraft are horrible, okay? Be a little more creative. And this is the myth. This is the mythos that they're trying to create, okay? This is the World Economic Forum. And there's another article that I don't think I've got open, but I'll pull it up after this one. Okay. In the beginning, I never caught that, but yeah, let's start out like the book of Genesis. Why not? In the beginning, Web 1.0 was the information superhighway of connecting computers and servers that you could search, explore, and inhabit, usually through a centralized company's platform. For example, AOL, Yahoo, Microsoft, and Google. Around the turn of the millennium, Web 2.0 came to be characterized by social networking sites, blogging, and monetization of user data for advertising by the centralized gatekeepers to free social media platforms, including Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok. But now, things are changing. Web 3.0 will be the foundation for the Metaverse. It will consist of blockchain-enabled decentralized applications that support an economy of user-owned crypto assets and data. It's all about the people. Owning bits. Blockchain is a technology that permanently records transactions, typically in a decentralized and public database called a ledger. This decentralized recording system is very difficult to fool or control unless you own like a handful of wallets do 90% of the supply of Bitcoin. It's a little easier to control that way and also decentralized. Public blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum are also transparent. All transactions are available for anyone on the internet to use, in contrast to traditional banking books. Womp womp. Right? I mean, like, who wants privacy when it comes to your banking? Let's just put it all out there for the world to see. Everything you shop, everything you... I mean, how do you think the transnationalist, multinational corporations are going to use that data? You know, they already use all your data off of these social platforms like Facebook. How are they going to use this knowledge to know everything that you ever purchase and where all your money goes? Just an interesting question to ask, right? Ethereum is this is interesting bit right here. Ethereum is a blockchain like Bitcoin, but Ethereum, and this Ethereum is what they're using throughout all this metaverse crap. It's a blockchain like Bitcoin, but Ethereum is also programmable through smart contracts, which are essentially blockchain-based software routines that run automatically when some condition is met. For example, you could use a smart contract on blockchain to establish your ownership of a digital object, such as a piece of art or music. So again, the new freedom, financial freedom, people's currency, social justice, money, whatever they want to call it, is to have our total financial existence controlled by algorithms. And they openly admit, I mean, reading on, blah, 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 what it does do in the metaverse. Yeah, it's a bunch of garbage. Essentially, as long as you are you able to access, well, as long as you're able to access your crypto wallet within the virtual world, you will be able to access your crypto stuff. Don't forget your wallet, or don't lose it, or all your wealth just vaporizes, and you'll never see it again. Don't forget your key, password. So what will you keep in your crypto wallet? You will obviously want to carry cryptocurrencies in the metaverse. Your crypto wallet will also hold your metaverse-only digital goods, such as avatars, clothing, virtual decorations, and weapons. Again, it's like a game, in-game items. So you can shop, of course. And so again, also just like you can use your old leather wallet to carry your ID, crypto wallets will be linkable to your real-world identities, which could help facilitate transactions that require legal verification, such as buying a real-world car or home. Because your ID will be linked to your wallet, you don't need to remember login information, all the websites and virtual worlds that you visit. Who needs to use their memory in this day and age, right? Who needs to even use their minds, right? Just jack us into the metaverse and program us to think from now on. Yeah, just connect to your wallet and click, and you're logged in. That's simple. ID-associated wallets will also be useful for controlling access to age-restricted areas of the metaverse. So, It's kind of unseemly brothels, maybe, that you can get away with things that you can't get away with in the real world because you're married, maybe. Who knows at this point. Free for all. Your crypto wallet could also be linked to your contacts list. This is key, which would allow you to bring your social network information from one virtual world to another. Quote, join me for a pool party in the fill your blank world. Fill in your blank world. At some point in the future, wallets could also be associated with reputation scores. What does that sound like? Oh yeah, China social credit score system. Yeah, at some point in the future, wallets could also be associated with reputation scores that determine the permissions you have to broadcast in public places and interact with people outside your social network. Your little info bubble, you mean? I mean, this is so dystopic, Orwellian, Brave New Worldian, and they're trying to pitch this as the new freedom, right? This is just going to liberate us all. I mean, and how does it work? How does it work so far? Like, how's everybody enjoying these little controls and these little pop-ups and these little continual, censorship measures and bans off of different platforms for saying things that aren't socially acceptable right now, for community guidelines, and you don't support the narrative, the official narrative. So these same people are going to be running your metaverse, okay? And they're going to connect these technologies to your real world ability to buy a car, buy a house, get a job. Does this sound like freedom to you? To me, it's scary as hell. And hopefully, I've got a little bit of I've got a little hope in that, if you just watch some of these videos on YouTube and you scroll through the comments afterwards, there are so many people that see through this total fraud and scam and money-making frickin' hoax, snake oil, garbage for what it is. That gives me a little hope in humanity. But your reputation scores, this is the World Economic Forum speaking, give you permissions to broadcast in public places and reach people outside your little bubble, your little info bubble that they keep you in, right? If you act like a toxic, misinformation spreading troll, that's me, proud of it, you may damage your reputation and potentially have your sphere of influence reduced by the system. I mean, they're just so open with even their language. The system. Yeah, you just can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. I thought it was against the system. I thought it was going to finally stick it to the man, right? I don't know. Starting to have my doubts. So yeah, this could create an incentive for people. This new, you don't want to be a misinformation spreading troll, or you damage your reputation and limit your sphere by the system. And this could create an incentive for people to behave well in the universe, or metaverse. But platform developers will have to prioritize these systems. So yeah, you'll have like a little red district, right, with the people with the red hats, the people on the right, Republicans maybe in the metaverse, and then you'll have the blue crowd, the donkeys, lefties, and the other quadrant of the metaverse, and they'll all be like within their own little bubbles and spheres on these different little social media platforms within the metaverse, and and then we'll finally have peace on Earth. This will solve all of our problems, all the world's problems. So this is the WE Forum, World Economic Forum, and I thought this recent article was applicable. This is of concern for crypto fans. Coinbase partners with the World Economic Forum. Yes, the same guys that just wrote that wonderful article that I just read to you, and you sat through patiently. Coinbase is joining the Liberal International Order via a partnership with the World Economic Forum. And that's an interesting phrase because I covered in about 2 years ago now, I guess, another video about the Henry Kissinger when he called for that same phrase, a liberal New World Order, he called it, and once again to exploit the COVID crisis. And according to the WEF's website, the cryptocurrency exchange is listed as a partner with the organization alongside the Bank of China and BlackRock. Of course, Twitter sleuths in the cryptosphere first noticed the update firing off comments about moving their crypto holdings from centralized exchange to cold storage, basically a little hard drive wallet. And it's like, are you surprised, guys? Like, is there any should there be any reason for surprise? I don't think so. And I guess I tried looking it up, and I guess they've since scrubbed it from the World Economic Forum's actual website because of all the bad PR, probably. Because it's, you're supposed to keep up this illusion that it's anti-establishment, right? And you can't just be on the token Bond villain Klaus Schwab's website as a partner in this day and age, with social media and all these conspiracies floating around the internet. So this was, I pulled it up from the webarchive.org, Coinbase. This is what was on the World Economic Forum's website before they scrubbed it. Founded in June 2012, Coinbase is a digital currency wallet and platform where merchants and consumers can transact with new digital currencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. Coinbase's vision to bring more innovation, efficiency, there's that word again, equality, of opportunity to the world by building an open financial system. Yes, it's all so open. There's nothing to hide here. Yeah, right. So, yeah. I mean, it just fits, right? The big picture is hopefully beginning to come into view. And, I wanted to play this commercial because I thought it was just ironic and a little bit creepy, actually. eToro is one of the main websites one of the main trading exchanges for cryptocurrency. And so this was one of the ones that I spotted during the Super Bowl. I know that there's about 5 others, perhaps. This one just takes the cake because this is the power of social investing. This is the selling point that you will be just whisked away from the rest of the concerns of the world, of the rest of the bottom dwellers that still inhabit this two-dimensional plane of, having to work in a 9-to-5 and just barely making a minimum wage. But you can hardly, feed your car anymore with gasoline to get to work. And so you're going to escape all these worries and concerns of the world and this hyperinflation from the Fed. Like one article I read, when Trump was in office, the first year of the pandemic, I think the Fed printed 20% of the entire supply of dollars within that 1 year. And so this perfect storm being created where, here's your savior, digital currency, the people's currency. I think it's just a little too coincidental. All this stuff, all these little points are all meeting and converging at this point in time. And this perfect chaos that they're going to come in and save us all with this new financial order, this new digital fourth industrial revolution that's going to evolve mankind to this higher plane, right? Call me a pessimist, but it just seems to me that the same people that got us into the mess, the same people who are investing in this technology and making us all these promises, the same people who have amassed wealth from the exploitation of the lower classes, that same old wealth system and the same old global elite, I just kind of doubt that they have our best interest in mind. But that's just me. All right, I'm going to skim through the rest of this Super Bowl halftime show real quick here. And just, let the thoughts flow as they come. And yeah. So Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, two gods of gangsta rap, done their spiel for the moment, and then they kind of zooms down to this underworld. It looks like, right? Everything's red. It's named after a popular ghetto nightclub, I guess, in Compton, I think it is, called Eve After Dark, appropriately. But 50 Cent, and yeah, he's got his own little harem, apparently. And I guess, it's okay to womanize as long as you're a black rapper, I guess. Yeah, this is what women's empowerment looks like, I guess. Yeah, just the enemy of men's souls wants to make this new financial order as sexy, as cool, as empowering looking as possible. If we know anything from the past, and if we know anything about human nature, it's the exact opposite. It's going to be a new technocratic dark ages that they're trying to shove on the world right now. So, yeah, little Miss Sparkles comes out, and yeah, once again, she as well is kind of invested in a roundabout way in that her Super Bowl dress went up as an NFT after the Super Bowl. And there's that massive Oculus LED screen. And so she does her thing. She falls down, spread eagle, for some reason. And then these guys pop up. And again, with just continuing on with the theme of crypto, Bitcoin, and blockchain. Once again, you see the street layout and the power grid and or circuit board, even, maybe. And so within that context and the rest of the theme that we've seen throughout the Super Bowl, that makes me think of blockchain. But that's perhaps on some level my own confirmation bias. But, I've looked at plenty of artwork from all these different articles on Bitcoin and crypto that try to visualize what the blockchain looks like. And it's usually something quite similar to this. And then see all these guys, and they're basically just cardboard boxes, but they're marked Dre Day for some reason. I don't know. But and then these strange looking guys pop out, blonde haired, dressed like Nation of Islam or Black Panthers or something. I don't know. Yeah, and they're all doing their thing in unison, right? I don't know. Whatever that means. And this little guy, Kendrick Lamar, I guess is his name, short little guy, comes out, does his thing. These some people made a big deal about the symbols that they're making on the ground here. This one almost looks kind of like that Walmart symbol, which is actually a kind of a pagan sun symbol, and there are kind of 6 different points to it, but take that with a grain of Bitcoin. They do their thing, yada yada yada, and then this is another very interesting part. As I see it, all these people lined up, or sitting rather, in this kind of a lotus position with their legs crossed, and they got their hands kind of crossed in front of them, and they have these little devices on their wrists. Some of them have it on both wrists. Some of them just have it on one wrist. I don't know why that is. If they just ran out of supplies for the for the backup actors on stage there. And as it zooms in, you can see them a little closer. Yeah, see, their faces are being illuminated by these little I don't know, smartwatch, whatever you think that they are, but so yeah, some kind of a technology, right? And you could almost make the stretch that light is illuminating their forehead. We already saw that mark in the hand. Indicates it's some kind of a smart device. This girl right here, it's pretty obvious right on her face. And then all of a sudden this thing blows up. So whatever you want to think that's... And from this angle, it almost looks like, you know, if we keep it under the context of the power grid, like a transformer blows up. And so that's kind of interesting in the context of the what I read about the cyber polygon exercise and all the talk about Russia and possible Russian hacks right now. Like, what's that going to do to the economy if you get everybody on board with this digital currency and we have a major crash, right? Or an EMP goes off and wipes out the internet. You know, how's that going to... What kind of effects that going to have on society? I think things would degrade pretty quickly and descend into chaos. And you know, all these little lemmings rush towards stage. And they're like bobbing their heads right there. In unison, right? To the beat. They're bobbing their heads. They got their little smart watches, whatever, smartphones, smart devices. They start wagging them even down there. And look at that. People in the audience already have them. Right? It's already right there. Everybody's already got their own smartphone. And like I said, that's all you need. You know, this personal banking system tied into a digital currency, controlling buying and selling. You don't have to have an implantable microchip at this point. All the technology's there. And they can cut off your SIM card, they can cut off your access to your bank accounts. If, like that World Economic Forum article stated, that you're not a good citizen. You're out there spreading that misinformation. It's too dangerous to have free flow of ideas in this wonderful little new world order that they're creating for us all to live in and occupy. And metaverses, you know, connected with our vaccine passes and our China social credit score systems, with this digital blockchain money. Yeah. This is the new freedom, though, right? That they're selling us. As Eminem does his thing, of course, what captures the headlines is right here where he kneels. You know, he summons the ghost of NFL past and does the Kaepernick. And of course he does, right? Because he's the only white guy on stage. I mean, you better be kneeling, right? Damn well better be kneeling, white boy cracker. So again, this big party, this big slice of the ghetto, Compton. All this fun out here is taking place within that power grid, right? It's just interesting. And then it shows Dr. Dre standing once again like godlike on top of the world, watching the fireworks show. And yeah, you see the SoFi Stadium. And so I decided to look up, just curious, you know, who is SoFi? And first this article, the $5 billion SoFi Stadium nearing completion is the most expensive NFL stadium ever built. And this is during the construction, so I thought it looked kind of interesting to see what this massive structure looks like under construction. This is when it was 85% complete. This, of course, it's in Inglewood, California. 70,000 seat occupancy. Yeah, you gotta hand it to these high priests of statecraft. You know, they know the value of bread and circuses to keep that to keep the gears greased for this little illusion of a democracy that we all live in, no matter what country we find ourselves in. So then again, this was pretty neat. This is the giant Oculus. I think it's Samsung. 120 yard long. I think it's like something like several million pounds. 50 feet high. And that hangs from the ceiling now. Massive, like LED display, 4K. So yeah, it's amazing. You know, what the merchants of the earth, you know, put into keeping the people appeased with entertainments and distractions, right? In any case, so like I said, I wanted to look up who's SoFi, right? Who's SoFi? And on this article, naming rights deal for LA Stadium gives SoFi unprecedented assets. And once again, there's another shot of it being constructed. And so this SoFi company spent over $600 million for a 20-year deal for naming rights for the Chargers and Rams' new stadium. That's pretty big money, right? That's pretty big funding. So if you go to Wiki, just go, keep it simple with Wiki, SoFi Technologies, Inc., now the parent company of Social Finance, Inc. Yeah, it's all about social justice, social currency. American Online Personal Finance Company. Yeah, I looked it up earlier. Based out of San Francisco, they do different mortgages, personal loans, credit cards, student loans, auto loans. You know, they do it all, you know, all kinds of usury. And I thought this was relevant. The new Chief Financial Officer, Michelle Gill, previously worked at TPG and, wouldn't you know it, Goldman Sachs. They always seem to pop up, don't they? But if you keep scrolling down, it says cryptocurrency trading. No way. In February 2019, SoFi launched a partnership with Coinbase to offer cryptocurrency trading. SoFi offers trading of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and more than 17 other crypto assets to users in every U.S. state apart from Hawaii, New Jersey, West Virginia. Cryptocurrency transactions are one of SoFi's only products that have fees. And so, I just was curious. Go to their main website, SoFi.com. There you go. Trade crypto. Get up to $100 in Bitcoin. Now we have 30 available coins, which means even more ways to trade with SoFi Invest. Yeah, invest. Great investment. And of course, they show the very appealing 1-year chart of Bitcoin, which, all about optics. It just looks like it's going to go up forever. It'll never correct, right? It'll never bottom out. You'll never be one of these guys stuck up here when it drops down back to here. Nah, it's just going up forever. And who knows? Maybe it will. So what are the odds? Again, we have all these artists, all these musicians or singer-songwriters. The majority of the people on stage there during the halftime show are early adopters and or pretty heavily invested in this whole technology of blockchain, Bitcoin, crypto, NFT ties in. And the stadium itself, where they held the event, is named after a cryptocurrency trading platform, trading company. And on top of that, the debut for this year of crypto trading sites for Super Bowl commercials. I think there was at least 5 that I counted. There could have been more, 5 or 6 different trading sites peddling their wares during the Super Bowl this year. It's a coincidence, right? An interesting coincidence. So you have all these... I hope I laid out a pretty decent case, pretty convincing case for my audience tonight that I'm not just imagining things here. I think there's a common theme with this year's Super Bowl, and it was all about crypto and this new enlightened utopia of digital finance, of basically this new world order system of buying and selling. And is it a coincidence that they would tie in at the very start, after you can hear that little voice droning, "Welcome to the New World Order," at the very start of the halftime show, that they would tie in that powerful symbolism from the Bible, from Bible prophecy, from the book of Revelation, of the mark in the right hand. Plain as day. In relation to the common theme throughout the commercials and throughout the halftime show, and the performers that perform during the halftime show, the common theme of this new technology involved in buying and selling cryptocurrency. Just something to think about. And that's what I'm here for. Hopefully. To spark some thought. So I don't care if you're Snoop, D-O-double-G, with your big old bling bling gold chain around your neck, or 50 Cent with his big old 50 diamond encrusted gold chain around his neck. Or if you're a Ted Cruz, fake conservative trying to sell blockchain to your patriot, freedom-loving constituency.
So we need to decentralize. We need to break it apart. It's one of the reasons why I am so bullish on crypto, on Bitcoin, because it is decentralized and not controllable. And the Chinese communists and Elizabeth Warren, they both want to control you. Your assets, your savings, your speech, your life, your children, every decision they want to control. And so we need to break up the means of controlling the citizenry.
We will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
I got one saying for them all. May your blockchains rest lightly upon you. And of course, this angry-looking guy, he had reason to be, Sam Adams. This is his original quote. "If ye love wealth better than liberty, the tranquility of servitude better than the animating contest of freedom, go home from us in peace. We ask not your counsels or your arms. Crouch down and lick the hands that feed you. May your chains rest lightly upon you. And may posterity forget that you were ever our countrymen. Yes, let your blockchains rest lightly upon you." And as Christians, one thing I've been saying for a while now is that, there's this the popular concept, the popular, trending idea of the mark of the beast is a literal microchip implanted in your hand. Because the verse says, it's a mark in the right hand, but they rarely say a little bit about the forehead, do they? Yeah, because that'd be a little harder to sign people up for a microchip implanted in their forehead, which is basically the center of your, what sets us apart from animals, your frontal lobe, your ability to make decisions, the ability to make a choice. Choose you this day. Who will you serve? And that's really what it comes down to. Like I was saying, I've been arguing for a while now that we already have all the technology, in our right hand, our smartphones, to enforce a mark of the beast, which, if you read Revelations correctly, it involves false worship. But I hope to get into that on a later show. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope it was both entertaining and slightly informative. And again, I try to ask, because I've forgotten the past, if you're new to the channel and you haven't yet, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because otherwise YouTube will never tell you about my videos. And if you feel so moved, or if you're, capable financially, I'm always up for a coffee or two. You can buy me down in the description. Thanks for watching. It's been a good time. Appreciate everybody who appreciates my content, and I appreciate all your comments, because it's always good to bounce ideas back and forth too, so I'm not just sitting here preaching to the choir of myself. It's not so fun that way. It's kind of gets a little boring. Yeah, I appreciate your feedback. Thanks for continued support from my little core group of Night Watchers. Till next time, this is Nightwatch N8, signing out.